Mabrika, welcome, merry meet. My name is Phoenix Aurora, and this video is for the newbies, for newcomers into the Taino resurgence movement. And I had decided that I wanted to do this video because I've seen quite a few newbies, acting a fool, showing their butts, just not coming correctly, and I don't want other people to get caught up like that. So I figured, I'll make this video and I'll throw out some recommendations, and you guys can take it with a grain of salt and do with it what you will. But alas, this video is being made. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and roll right into my recommendations. Number one, with regard to newbie protocol, if you will, would be to be humble and acknowledge that if you don't know nobody and nobody knows you, then you are a guest in these different Taino spaces, be it a physical group or one online, like in Facebook, for example. If you wouldn't go to someone's house that you don't know or you just heard of, you're related to, and kick down their door and say, yo, what's up? We're family, and I don't care if you like it or not. I'm moving in, and it is what it is. Ike. If you wouldn't do that in real life to somebody, then don't do that to people in these different groups, be it a physical one or, like I said, a digital one, like on Facebook. You can't just demand that people acknowledge and treat you as family. That's not how it works. So be cognizant of that. Know what you don't know would be my second recommendation. I do have notes, so that's why you keep seeing me look off to the side, so I stay on track, because I can talk in circles all day long. But I digress. Know what you don't know. And the reason that's important is because a lot of people come into our groups seeking knowledge. They have some knowledge, some of them have no knowledge whatsoever, but there are those that can be a little bit staunch, I guess would be the right word, with the knowledge that they have. They don't like to be corrected. They don't like being told about different perspectives, because not everything out there in the Taino world is, a rule that's set in stone. Each Yukayeke operates differently. So some people believe that you need to be a descendant of a cacique, for example, to be able to become a cacique yourself. Some people believe that you need to be voted in by a council of women to be a legitimate cacique. People can argue little details here and there all day long. Just like with any group of people that sorry, my battery's dying. But just like any group of people that you would come across, there are things that we all generally agree on, and then there are things that people are going to argue about, just like any other family, right? So an example of things people don't like being corrected on, this is more so with Spanish speakers, because we tend to put the A at the end of a word when you're referring to a woman, or an O at the end of the word if you're referring to a man. And a lot of the time people want to take the word Taino and refer to a Taino woman as Taina, and that is technically wrong. People can still say Taina if they're speaking in Spanish or whatever, but the correct way of referring to a Taino person, regardless of whether or not they're a man or a woman, is to just say Taino. You wouldn't say Lakota for a Lakota man and Lakota for a Lakota woman. It's not Cherokee for a Cherokee man and then Cherokee for a Cherokee woman. And it's the same with the word Taino. And a lot of people get upset when they're corrected when they use the word Taina. So that's an example of knowing what you don't know, and being humble and being able to be taught, being able to be corrected without getting defensive. It's okay not to know something, and don't presume to know something either, because people that do know are gonna call you out probably. My third recommendation would be to respect your elders. Duh. A tequina is a teacher, and there are plenty of tequina out there that are tequina, are considered tequina because they are elders. they are wise, they are knowledgeable. And an elder is not necessarily somebody who is older than you. Somebody who is wiser and more knowledgeable than you is your elder. And that person could be a 15-year-old girl, because there is, we do have youth out there that have been taught more as they grew up than what we were taught at their age. So they know more than a lot of adults do. And sometimes people get mad when these 16, 17-year-old youth correct them, because they feel like somehow that's a bad thing because they're older than them and they should know more than them. And, you know, I don't know if it's just, it makes you feel bad or what it is, which you shouldn't feel bad. Our people were oppressed. This knowledge was kept from you on purpose. And the reason the Taino resurgence movement is what it is because we're trying to make sure that that's not the case for future generations. So the fact that you don't know is only a testament to the fact that you're a Taino. You should want to learn more, yes. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid and ashamed of the fact that you don't know more than the next person, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. Let me see. My fourth recommendation would be to not just respect our elders, but respect our ancestors, respect our semi. If you can't even be bothered to learn the names of our semi, don't go claiming that one or two or three of them or whatever are your primary ancestors, making products using their image for your personal profit and stuff like that. Not only do I highly discourage doing that for spiritual reasons, but having Native ancestry does not absolve you from taking advantage of a culture that you don't know. Therefore, you are not living, thus you are not part of yet. You can't just, like I said earlier, you can't just demand that people acknowledge you as Taino and accept you as Taino and treat you as Taino. You know, it may be your birthright, but you still need to earn your place. You know what I'm saying? It's very presumptuous to think otherwise, that you can just, oh, I'm X% Taino, so can't nobody tell me nothing. That's not how it works. It's just not, okay? And my last recommendation is ask lots of questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I know I already kind of said that, but I really feel like that I need to elaborate on it. Read a lot of comments, read different opinions and perspectives, not just from books, from these academics, but from actual Taino people as well. That is the best way to learn. You want to get as many different points of view and perspectives or whatever as possible, and then come to your own conclusions. You don't want to be told what to believe and what to think. You want to do that on your own, and you want to be able to be headed in the right direction, you know. So to do that, you're going to need to try and get as much unbiased information as possible. A lot can be taken from you, but your education isn't one of those things. So definitely educate yourself. You're less likely to fall victim to an abuser in disguise if you do this. There are con artists out there, unfortunately. And the more you know, the less likely you are to be able to be tricked and manipulated and misled. Now, when it comes to con artists, some quick red flags that I wrote down would be a person being over the top. You know, we are spiritual people. We are connected to our ancestral spirits. We are connected to other natural spirits, you know, because we are connected to nature and stuff like that. But the more someone tries to convince you that they're this super spiritual person and all this love and light, and they can connect with the semi every time they want to, like the semi are at their beck and call or some shit. the more likely they are to be full of it. You know, nobody wants to get played by the Taíno version of Walter Mercado or Miss Cleo. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what else to say other than that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I could think of at the moment. If you guys want to leave a comment and ask some questions or start a discussion or whatever, by all means do so, as long as you can remain respectful. And yeah, as always, Sineko Kakona and many blessings. Bye.